Here we're going to have a look at Toshiba's P505D-S8960. This is one of Toshiba's AMD powered P500 series laptops with their 18.4-inch screen that's running the new Windows 7 operating system. As you can see, the laptop is covered with Toshiba's black onyx fusion finish, and it provides a glossy covering with a kind of wavy design in it with the Toshiba logo in chrome, so it provides kind of a mirror finish. We'll look around the ports and in the meantime also talk about the specifications on it. It has the AMD Turion II 2.2 GHz processor, 4 gigs of DDR2 memory, a 500 gigabyte serial ATA hard drive, DVD-RW with the label flash technology. It has a ATI Radeon 4100 graphics, full-size keyboard with numeric keypad, touch-sensitive keys for controlling media, and also Toshiba's ecoMode, which we'll get into a little bit later. And that's pretty much the general specs. Of course, I did say earlier that it's Windows 7. This is Windows 7 Home Premium 64 because of that 4 gigabyte DDR2 memory. Now, looking on one side of the notebook here, we have our Kensington lock at the very back on this side, followed by the AC adapter, our VGA module port, 56K modem port, 2 USB 2.0s with sleep and charge, which is Toshiba's technology that allows you to power USB devices with the laptop actually turned off. So that allows you to not have to bring multiple chargers with you. You can charge your devices through the USB ports with the PC off. Then you have your microphone and your headphone with SPDIF out capability. Nothing on the rest there. On the front is our status indicators for power, battery, AC adapter, hard drive, and I believe our secure digital or memory card reader slot, which is over on this side. Here's that memory card slot, and right next to it is the dedicated wireless on-off switch right there. On this side, in the back, is our 10/100/1000 gigabit Ethernet, another USB 2.0 eSATA combo port, so if you have an eSATA external hard drive, you can take advantage of those fast transfer speeds, another USB 2.0 with sleep and charge, no HDMI on this one, and I think it's the AMD ones that don't have that. The Intel ones probably have that feature, but there's no HDMI output on this version of the P500. And we have our iLink 1394 port, and here's that DVD-RW with the Toshiba label flash, and our Express Card 54 lies right above that. On the back side, nothing there except for the monitor hinge. On the bottom side, here, our battery is located up front. Make sure it's unlocked. If I can pull that out here. May not be able to right now. I can't pull it out right now. Our battery's here. Now the P500 also has support for dual hard drives. Now again, this may be something with the AMDs, but this one actually doesn't support 2 physical hard drives, even though it has 2 bays for one. The actual hard drive is in this bay. The secondary hard drive would be located in this bay. However, when I looked in there, there's no physical connector for another hard drive. And so you've got an area there, but you can't install another hard drive if you only got this one here. Then behind that is the place where you can access the 4 gigs of memory for upgrading, and then that's pretty much it. You've got a cooling fan for cooling off the graphics and AMD processor. And also in the box, all you get is the AC adapter and the two little manuals and quick start guide. Notice there's no recovery DVDs. This computer actually has built-in recovery, and Toshiba's starting to move to having the built-in hard disk recovery on their laptops now instead of the DVD recovery media. Now, if that's a good thing, I don't know. Some people prefer the DVD media because it doesn't take up the space on the hard drive, and in case something goes wrong with the computer, they still have that backup media. But then some other people prefer the hard drive method because it's always there with the computer. Kind of depends on general preference. Anyway, we'll open the notebook up and take a look at those inside components. I've been joined by the computer cat. You might have seen him jump up earlier while I had it upside down. He's kind of watching as I go through this. Inside, we have, again, that black onyx finish that goes to the inside with the same design. Our touchpad is here, and it's kind of built into the frame. You can kind of tell where it is because it has a little bit of a textured feeling, but it kind of blends in with the way the finish feels, so it almost may be hard to tell where it is unless you kind of look at it. Very large buttons at the bottom, and they have a little accent light right above that. We'll show that one later. Here's that full-size keyboard, and the touch-sensitive media controls are on the side here for launching the media player, controlling the audio like playing and pause, and then there's the one for enabling Toshiba's ecoMode, which we'll look at probably in part 2, because right now we're just kind of looking over the unit itself. At the top we have the two Harman Kardon speakers, and it does have great audio quality for those two Harman Kardons. Very good audio out of this thing. Let's see. Let me see if I can move to the 18.4-inch screen at the top. Cat hiding behind it. And we have an 18.4-inch diagonal screen. We have our 1.3 megapixel webcam at the top, and it does have Toshiba's facial recognition software installed, so you can get some biometric security there by having it take a snapshot of your face and then using that to log on to Windows. Now, it does not use that for web pages, so you'll have to use a separate piece of software or just use your standard username and password for web page logins, because the Toshiba facial recognition software only does the Windows logon, does not do web page authentication. And we have a single mono microphone on one side of it somewhere. Kind of hard to see because of this black onyx finish. But other than that pretty much wraps up the... Should also mention that the little satellite logo toward the bottom here lights up on these things. Kind of a little added addition. So anyway, that kind of sums up the exterior and interior of the P505D-S8960. Part 2 will boot this up and take a look at its specs and the Windows 7 operating system, and also demonstrate the ecoMode, and also take a look at the hard disk drive protection, because it does have an accelerometer in here to protect the hard drive in case you give it any sudden shocks. So, looking forward to part 2.